Where's my focus going? I can always be upset about something. Where do you tend to focus more? Your past, your present, or your future? We all spend all three, but where do you spend more of your time? Most of us who are achievers tend to focus on the future, but all the joy is in the present. The majority of people spend a lot of time in the past, and the problem is you can't change it. You're constantly focused on what's missing versus what you have. You're focused on what you can't control. And there's two worlds, right? The external world, the internal world. We can't control the external world, we can influence it. The part we can control is what's going on inside of us. And that we can control what we focus on. We can control the meaning. We can decide the meaning. We're the meaning makers, and we can decide what to do. And when we make those three decisions, we're in control of our life, and all the anxiety and bullshit tends to go away, especially if we're trying to do that to serve something more than ourselves. Because you can't serve something more than yourself and not benefit. When you want some self-esteem, do something worthwhile beyond just yourself. We all know the two emotions that destroy your relationship, your business, your life, it's fear and anger. Those are two extremes. You can't be grateful and fearful simultaneously. You can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. But like you look at somebody like Steph Curry, and you see this guy, shoot the ball from almost half court. So he doesn't even look. He turns around and just waves because he knows it's in already. And there's swish, and the crowd goes crazy. And people look at that and go, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's the greatest three-point shooter in history. There's no one like him. But what they don't pay attention to is that isn't like a little gift. He shoots 500 shots every single day, never less than that, 7 days a week, for more than 15 years. His 15-year professional career. He's been doing it since before he was in college. His dad really trained him. So think of that, 3,500 shots a week, 168,000 shots in a year, 2 million shots in his 15-year NBA career, so he can make 3,600 shots. Not even 1/10%. I tell people, you get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. I think everything happens for a reason. I think there's a higher purpose. I think it's my job to find it. I think that life happens for us, not to us, but it's our job to figure it out. You're gonna battle with internal things within you and external things, but if you keep going, you're gonna eventually slay your dragons and you come out and the hero of your own life and you have something to share that isn't bullshit. It's not something you read somewhere, it's something you've lived.
Something you want.
And everybody can feel you've lived it because it's a different level of ownership, And then, by the way, as soon as you do that, it happens again. You're called on another journey. You have a new level of challenge that you need to go on. It just never ends, but it makes life really, really beautiful.
How can people who are always very hard on themselves learn to build up their self-esteem a little bit more?
I don't know if self-esteem is the answer. I don't think it's bad to be hard on yourself, as long as you also celebrate when the victories happen. But so many people will tell you, I have poor self-esteem because when I was a kid, people said this to me and that to me. And it's convenient that we remember those things and not the positive things that also occur, obviously. But I think it's more important is to realize that self-esteem is earned. It's only earned by you with yourself. You're not going to get self-esteem because everybody praises you. Someone can tell you your whole life that you're brilliant, you're a genius, you're beautiful, you're handsome, and you not believe it. Someone can tell you, you're a piece of crap and you're never going to become anything. And there's a part of you can say, I'll show you, as many people have, and then they develop drive out of it, right? So it's really, self-esteem comes from doing incredibly difficult things where you pushed yourself. It's not virtue signaling. It's not telling people about it. It's what you know inside your soul is true. And the more you do things that are incredibly difficult, and especially things that are meaningful, meaning they're not just about yourself, the higher that esteem would be. I think the most important thing for self-esteem is to find something you care about more than yourself. If you find something you care about more than you won't be thinking about yourself all the time, and all your self-esteem just goes out the window. The real question is, what do you want? If you want an extraordinary life, my definition of that is life on your terms. Some people, it's 3 beautiful children, a white picket fence. Some people, it's building a multi-billion-dollar business. Somebody else, it's writing poetry. Instead of looking for somebody else, it's like, okay, what do you really want from your life? And aligning yourself with moving forward towards what you really want. If you can do that in a way that also you feel is serving others simultaneously, there's a sense of meaning in life that can't be replaced by self-esteem or praise or compliments or being nice to yourself. And I don't think it's bad to be tough on yourself. I'm pretty tough on myself, I'll be honest with you. Being overly tough on yourself usually comes by making comparisons that don't make sense. You're comparing to somebody else's life that has a totally different path, a totally different experience. We all develop in different stages and different things. We all want different things. But eventually you wake up and say, it's good to be strong with yourself, but beating yourself up just lowers your energy. And when your energy gets lower, you produce less. And you don't have the same level of joy. You don't have the impact that you want to have, nor do you have the excitement that you really want to have. So I look at it as something that it's worth earning your own self-esteem, but it's really not the secret. The secret is find something else you obsess about more than yourself, and you'll have a level of energy that will compel you over the long term. When I began with a fuel, which was like, I'm gonna show them it was anger that drove me. I'm just gonna show you type of thing. But that fuel doesn't last. And then the next fuel that people tend to use is, I gotta succeed. But there's a little fear underneath that's driving them, which is like, what if I don't? Versus a knowing, it's like, if you give your all every day, your gifts will make room for you. And it's like having a knowingness that things are going to be fine. And then there's the next level, which is you start to know who you are, and you're not trying to prove it to yourself or other people. And it's just, you just want to help. It's the difference between what I would call push motivation and pull, right? Push is, I'm going to make this happen. And it takes tremendous willpower. And I know you have plenty of willpower, I do as well. But there's a limit to willpower, but there's no limit to pull. Pull is when there's something magnificent that you want to serve, something that you've got an obsession for, to create or to do or make happen. And that you don't lose that energy, you don't lose those components, and you're able to laugh and enjoy along the way. I think it's important to realize wherever focus goes, energy flows. It's corny, but it's true, right? In fact, maybe an easier way of saying it is, we don't experience life. None of us do. We experience the life we focus on. So in any moment, what's wrong is always available. So is what's right. So it's not about being positive. It's about being intelligent. You got to look at the impact of what you're believing. And you got to look at and say, where's my focus going? I can always be upset about something. I can always find something to be joyous or at least grateful for, which leads to joy. And I think it's learning to discipline your disappointments, not allow them to grow and to move on and to use whatever life has given you. You can make some simple patterns and change your whole life. Focus. The minute you focus on something, your brain has to decide, what does it mean? And meaning is what creates emotion, and emotion is where your life is, right? And so the quality of your life is the quality of your emotions. We all have a pattern of focusing on what we have and at times on what's missing. Which one do you think most people spend more time focusing on, what they have or what's missing? You can engineer your life to have more happiness, but I think the real challenge is thinking so hardly about being taken seriously just represents your fears, right? It's like, I think spiritual development, when people talk about spiritual, not religious development, spiritual development is the level of comfort you can have with just being your real self. And I think that's not an easy task, because we all are trying to be something, but we already are that something we're trying to be. That doesn't mean you can't be better, but it's like accepting and appreciating what you really are, and instead of projecting, something else, takes a lot of pain out of your body, takes a lot of wasted energy out. It gets a lot of fears to just disappear. And I don't have an easy path for that. I think it's the hero's journey. I feel if I work my ass off, now I've done my part, okay, now come through me, let's do this, and it tends to flow.
Life happens to me, or I happen to life, but life happens for me.
Yes, not to me.
Yeah, is a wonderful reframe.
Yeah, I really believe it. But you got to dig for it. It's not easy.
But it's got to be earned, right? Like wishing for confidence without competence is just illusion. You have no evidence to say that you can do this thing.
If you want freedom, if you value freedom, you can't possibly have it as long as you play the victim role. None of that makes you who you are. None of that controls where you are in your life. It's like, have you ever had something happen in your life that was horrible? I mean, it was painful. You'd never want to go through it again in a million years. You wouldn't want anybody else to go through it that you care about. But after 5 or 10 years, you look back and you say, I never want to go through it again. but now I see the wisdom in it.
I'm glad
It's like it made me care so much more. It made me so much stronger. It made something in me more. I mean, I'm sure you can relate to that, can't you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't really realize it's just life. And then you learn a little bit more about yourself and you start to realize, well, look at all of the ways that I've had to compensate for that. Look at all of the ways that it's held me back. Look at all of the beliefs that I have about myself. And God, if only that hadn't happened, then I would be here or I would be there. And then you realize, well, the light side of all of that dark stuff is usually the stuff that I'm most proud of myself for.
Yes.
So the fact that you were maybe a little bit alone in childhood means that you're very self-sufficient when you're an adult. Or the fact that you didn't have anybody to support you means that you have no concern about working on your own and continuing to take a bet on yourself, so on and so forth. So you end up having this really strange loop where you go from unconscious incompetence in that you've somehow been through something that you really hate, to this sort of awareness of how it's held you back, to this awareness of how it's propelled you. And then you have to get to this really difficult place, which is, okay, so this is a thing that I kind of wish hadn't happened, and yet I'm grateful that it did. And it's like a psychological superposition that you need to hold in your head at the same time. You can't collapse it down into one. You need to hold both of these things. It's like, yeah, that's like, that shouldn't have happened. I really wish that, and had you have been able to see you, had you at 36 have been able to see you at 12, you'd have picked them up and given them a hug and said, I believe in you and you don't deserve this. But it needs to happen to you.
It was meant to be. Now, I don't believe like everything's meant to be. I think situations are meant to be, and then it's our job to choose how we're going to use them or be used by them, right? I think that's the difference. But I think, we get easy times and tough times. Why is that important? It is incredibly peaceful if you've done the job in the beginning, because
Guys, you got to understand the opportunities that you have. I've been to third world countries where it does not matter how early you wake up. It does not matter how long you stay up. It doesn't matter what your skill sets are. It doesn't matter. You don't have opportunity. You have people all over the world who are dying to get here, literally dying to get here. You have an opportunity of a lifetime, and where much is given, much is required. San Antonio was so close to winning, they started bringing the trophies out. And when my man got the ball in his hand, like, I'm looking and I could almost see him thinking, like, listen to me, it's third quarter living. You got an opportunity of a lifetime. What I discovered is if you don't make it happen in game 6, it probably won't happen in game 7. You might not get that chance 2 times. You might not get it 3 times. You might not get it to do it over the 4th time. And listen to me, we had 1, 2, and it's history. Are you hearing me? History. You're talking about Tim Duncan with 5 going amongst the great. You're talking about San Antonio carving out another place of hit. You're talking about 2 shots, the opportunity of a lifetime, and it was not seized. I'm telling you, you can't afford to have one more year where you just talking. You can't afford to have one more year where you just dreaming. Like, you listen to me, you can't afford this life and death. You cannot afford to be talking about it no more. Like, this is it. You got family members on the line. You got dreams on the line. You have opportunities on the line. Some of you got an opportunity of a lifetime and you playing scared. Some of you got an opportunity of a lifetime and you being timid. Some of you got an opportunity of a lifetime and you waiting on it. Listen to me. You got to impose your will. You got to take it to them. Some stuff in life, it's not free. They're not giving out success, but you can earn it. You can take it. I need you to take it. Your mama might be a millionaire. You might come from privilege. Your daddy might hook you up with a car. He might know people. He might be able to get you a job, but you will not outwork me. I'm a champion. We as a champion, we ain't trying to cut corners. We ain't trying to see how much we can do and still be successful. I got a standard. I want to be the best. And I love Steph Curry. Steph said, making shots and workouts is no longer good enough. Put this down, finish. Write that down, type that to yourself, execute. Put that down, finish, execute. Let me tell you something, they treat people differently who execute. Nobody care what you're doing in practice. They don't got nothing to do with nothing. That don't count. It don't count what you're doing in practice, it don't count. It don't count what you do first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. The most important quarter is the one where you won. Write that down, finish. Effort is not good enough. Ain't nobody paying you for effort. You don't get paid for effort. You don't get paid for trying. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. Going up against other champions, you think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? You think you're going to get 80? I watch y'all. Y'all good, but you need to be great in this league. You're real good at what you do, but some of you don't finish. You look good in the first. You look good in the second. But the fourth with the last 3 minutes, I can tell. With the last three. Listen to me. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. You have to make a decision that nobody will outwork you. What you got to do in practice is 1, 2, 3. In practice. Not in the field. That's just, some of y'all, that's your problem. You think that you can dominate when the lights come on. If you can't dominate in practice, you can't dominate when the lights come on. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. I dominate at 3 o'clock in the morning. I dominate when everybody's asleep. I dominate at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning. At 8, I go back to bed. Why? Because y'all just getting up. I dominate in the dark. I dominate when nobody sees me. So I dominate in the light because I dominate the dark. I'm just being real. MJ didn't have a game 7. It didn't matter if he was in Utah, he was in Chicago, if he was in Wisconsin, like the Bucks, it didn't matter. What Mike's mentality was, whoever we play, I'm going to dominate these individuals. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, so I'm not going to say no other names, because I don't want y'all to be like, I don't want to hear what my man got to say. But there are other guys who are good, who consider great, they go to game 7, and it takes the last second for them to win the game. Mike was like, 3 feet, nope, come back. Another 3 feet, dominating. So I need y'all to do me a huge favor. Like, I need you to eat, sleep, breathe, dominate. You can't win it if you can't see it. You gotta see each one. The vision. You gotta see yourself winning in practice. You gotta see yourself winning the game. The SEC East, you gotta see yourself. Then the championship, you gotta see yourself. Then the playoffs, you gotta see yourself. Wake up every single day. I was here before I was here. I was up this morning here. I've been here before. I was in this spot right here. I was talking from right here. I visited. I saw it already. I don't even got to hit an alarm clock. My body like, yo, eat, 2:30, get up, eat, 2:45, 1, 2, 3, discipline, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Discipline is you do it so long, so hard, and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. I dominate. Where I go, stuff happens. I dominate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. Just because you got here don't mean your 30's gonna look like this. And your 40's gonna look like this. And your 50. I mean, I wish if you played in the NFL, I wish that whatever your best day was, your best year was, you could just like capture that and that'd be the rest of your life. But unfortunately, a lot of dudes made a lot of money broke. Most of the people who lost 30 million in 1 year, you don't get another year to make another 30 mil. If you know you're not gonna be here forever, then you're gonna treat how long you're gonna be here differently. What's your standard? I don't care what it is, but what is your standard? I got some standards. I've been waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and praying to God since I was 19 years old. That's a non-negotiable. Every morning at 3, I'm up. I'm the best in the world as a speaker, not because I'm the best, but I'm the best because every day I put God first. That's my standard. I don't care if I'm in Dubai, 3 o'clock. I don't care if I'm in Cali, 3 o'clock. I don't care if I'm down south, 3 o'clock. That's my standard. I've been married 31 years. I've only had sex with one woman my entire life. That's my standards. I'm not telling nobody else to do that, but my old dude wasn't in my life because he was running around having sex with everybody. I got siblings I don't even know. I just met my niece for the first time. She's 24 years old. So I'm like, I'm not doing what my dad did. My dad a high school dropout. I went and got my GED, then I got my 4-year degree, then I got my master's degree, then I got my PhD. And I ain't smart, but I set a standard so when my kids came in this world, their mama got a master's, their daddy got a PhD, they at least got to finish high school. I set a standard. Multi-millionaire as a speaker from the bottom up. I set a standard. It's gonna be a fight. You can't keep doing this for maybe your freshman year, maybe your sophomore year, but at some point, you gotta go take the life out of it. At some point, you just gotta, took me 12 years to get the 4-year degree. And in the master's, I was like, and somebody said, get the PhD, and I was like, no. And it was like, come on, E, get the PhD. And when I just started going after life and taking it by its throat, not getting to some of y'all get to the line. You gotta take that thing out, like, you gotta take the breath out. So some of y'all are afraid of math. Go after it. Go get it. Don't run from it no more. Go get it. You go in there and go get that grade. You go in there and get that information so you can pass that class. You ain't got the money to go to school. You go write those letters and you go knock on those doors. Don't be scared. You need this degree. Go knock on those doors. Go get that scholarship. Don't be scared to ask. Knock on the door. Knock. Speak. Come on, ask. And it's gonna be given to you. You gotta go get it. What do I want to be doing in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, my 60s? And what you do today, every day when you walk in this joint, what you do today is going to determine how you live at 30, at 40, at 50, at 60. And y'all got a head start, man. Woo. I'm committed, but I don't know that I'm convicted. And here's what I want y'all to know. We have to be careful because some of us get an attitude because we're looking for things that people who are convicted get when we just committed. But I just want you to stop expecting what people with convictions have when you just committed. Stop doing that. Because now you mad, like, oh, okay, so coach ain't gonna start me. You just committed. You ain't got no conviction to the game. You just play when it's time to play. That person is up all day, every day, running, lifting weight. Michael Jordan was convicted about basketball. Kobe was convicted about basketball. That's why Mike is who he is. Not because he was the greatest ever, but the conviction that didn't nobody want it as bad as he wanted. He was convicted. Some of us, we let our feelings like, I ain't feeling it. I'm not with it. That's why I know I'm not convicted to run it. Because I always run when I feel like it. I ain't never missed a day when I felt like it. I've never run, though, when I've not felt it. One of the things you have to do is operate in conviction and not commit. If you gonna win, if they gonna put your name and the number up there, you just can't play this game because there are other teams that want to do exactly what you got to do. So what you got to do in practice is 1, 2, 3. In practice. If you can't dominate in practice, you can't dominate when the lights come on. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. I dominate at 3 o'clock in the morning. I dominate when everybody's asleep. I dominate at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning. At 8, I go back to bed. Why? Because y'all just getting up. But I'm committed to it.
Your everyday routine is cleared.
Come on, we have a vision, we have a mission, we have a visionary, we have a mission. Our goal is to move the needle, not surround ourselves with loyal people who ain't competent. Gus, I see your true colors. A trial or a tribulation hit, and now you wondering if I'm gonna do what I said I'm gonna do, so now you're gonna switch the game up. Okay. I want you to see where you are so you can make the adjustment. I need you to eat, sleep, breathe, dominate. We're not playing to the level of our competition no more. Everything you do is going to be in a way that nobody else does. Paying attention, being locked in and focused. Paying attention, being locked in and focused. Listen to me very closely. I take it personal when I do what I do. I don't care who we going up against. 1, 2, 3. Wake up every single day. I was here before I was here. I was up this morning here. I've been here before. I was in this spot right here. I was talking from right here. I envisioned it. I saw it already. You can't win it if you can't see it. You cannot be a prisoner to your preference. You cannot be a prisoner to your own preference, meaning that just because it's what you prefer, if you losing, you losing, period. And so you don't make your preference the God. You make winning or losing the God. So if you're losing, you have to do something different so that you can win. You have to self-assess. And you can't let you off the hook because it's you. It's two of y'all. It's a winning you and a losing you. And you do deserve to be a winner. When you're trying to score a touchdown, there are individuals designed to stop you from scoring a touchdown. Yeah. That's their job. They're supposed to stop you. Your job is to not care about them trying to tackle you, and you keep moving forward. You dominate when you feel like it, and you dominate when you don't feel like it. I've dominated my sleep pattern. I've dominated my laziness. I've dominated procrastination. Where I go, stuff happens. I dominate.
There are no shortcuts.
Discipline is you do it so long and so hard, and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. I dominate.
And I realize that most of you in the room, the reason why you're not going to get to where you're supposed to get to is because you don't know how to get there. Now, the other thing I've noticed is that people who have more clarity have more conviction.
And you start like, oh man, I want that. I want it. Like, I want that experience, but you don't change as a human, so you can't get that experience. Like, it's not possible for you to have it. You can't change your life without changing your mind, bro.